Ernesto Che Guevara. The name alone evokes powerful emotions. To some he is a symbol of revolution, a champion of the oppressed. To others he is a controversial figure, a ruthless guerrilla fighter. His image, emblazoned on t-shirts and posters, has become a global icon. But who was the man behind the legend? Che Guevara was born in Argentina in 1928. He could have lived a comfortable life. His family was middle class. Instead, he chose a different path. He dedicated his life to fighting injustice. He became a doctor, but his true calling was revolution. Che's story is one of adventure, idealism, and ultimately, tragedy. It is a story that continues to fascinate and inspire people around the world. This is the story of Che Guevara, the revolutionary. Ernesto Guevara was born into a world of comfort and privilege. He grew up in a middle-class family in Argentina. His parents, Ernesto Guevara Lynch and Celia de la Serna, were well-educated and provided a comfortable life for their children. From a young age, Ernesto, nicknamed Fuser for his energetic nature, displayed a thirst for knowledge and a strong sense of social justice. He excelled in school, particularly in literature and history. He developed a passion for reading, devouring the works of Marx, Engels, and Freud. These writings ignited a fire in his soul, planting the seeds of revolution. Despite his family's comfortable lifestyle, Guevara was deeply affected by the poverty and inequality he witnessed around him. Argentina in the 1930s and 40s was a time of political and economic turmoil. The gap between the rich and the poor was vast. These experiences left a lasting impression on the young Guevara, shaping his worldview and fueling his desire for a more just society. His parents, though surprised by his growing social consciousness, encouraged his intellectual curiosity. They enrolled him in the prestigious University of Buenos Aires, where he pursued a degree in medicine. It was during these formative years that Guevara began to question the status quo, laying the groundwork for his transformation from a medical student to a revolutionary icon. In 1950, at the age of 23, Ernesto Guevara embarked on a journey that would change his life forever. This journey was not just a physical expedition, but a quest for deeper understanding and self-discovery. He set out with his friend Alberto Granado to explore the vast continent of South America. Together, they sought adventure, knowledge, and a closer look at the diverse cultures and landscapes that make up this incredible continent. Their mode of transport, a sputtering Norton 500 motorcycle they nicknamed La Poderosa II, the Powerful Two. This motorcycle, though unreliable, became a symbol of their journey's spirit and determination. This epic journey, chronicled in Guevara's memoir The Motorcycle Diaries, took them through the towering Andes Mountains, where they faced harsh weather and challenging terrains, testing their resilience and resolve. Across the desolate Atacama Desert, one of the driest places on Earth, where the vast emptiness and extreme conditions pushed them to their limits, and into the heart of the Amazon rainforest, a place teeming with life and mystery, where they encountered the rich biodiversity and the challenges of navigating through dense foliage and unpredictable weather. Along the way, they encountered people from all walks of life, impoverished miners, indigenous communities, and fellow travelers. Each interaction added a new layer to their understanding of the continent's social fabric. The journey was more than just a geographical adventure. It was a profound social and political awakening for Guevara, who began to question the inequalities and injustices he observed. He witnessed firsthand the plight of the poor and marginalized. The stark contrast between the rich and the poor left a lasting impression on him. He saw the effects of colonialism and imperialism, which had left deep scars on the societies he visited. The exploitation and suffering of the people were evident everywhere he looked. He saw the effects of colonialism and imperialism. The remnants of these oppressive systems were visible in the architecture, the social structures, and the daily lives of the people. He encountered exploitation, poverty, and disease. These harsh realities were a stark contrast to the beauty of the landscapes they traveled through. These experiences had a profound impact on him, deepening his empathy for the downtrodden and solidifying his belief in the need for radical change. He began to see his role in the world differently, feeling a growing sense of responsibility. The Motorcycle Diaries captures not only the physical journey, but also Guevara's internal transformation. His writings reflect a young man grappling with the harsh realities of the world and his place within it. He began to see the world through the eyes of the oppressed. This new perspective was both enlightening and troubling, as it challenged his previous beliefs and assumptions. He realized that the poverty and injustice he witnessed were not isolated incidents, but systemic problems. These issues were deeply rooted in the history and politics of the region. This realization would be a turning point in his life, setting him on the path to becoming a revolutionary. The journey ignited a fire within him, a desire to fight for a more just and equitable world. By the time Ernesto Guevara reached Cuba in 1954, he was no longer the idealistic medical student who had embarked on a motorcycle journey across South America. That journey had opened his eyes to the widespread poverty and suffering across the continent, and it had ignited a fire within him. He had seen firsthand the impact of imperialism and the exploitation of the working class, and he was determined to make a difference. He was now a hardened revolutionary, deeply committed to fighting injustice and overthrowing oppressive regimes. His experiences had transformed him into a man of action, ready to take up arms for the cause he believed in. Guevara's resolve was unshakable, and his vision for a better world was clear. Cuba, under the dictatorship of Fulgencio Batista, was ripe for revolution. The country was plagued by corruption, inequality, and repression. The Cuban people were yearning for change, and the atmosphere was charged with the possibility of rebellion. Batista's regime was brutal, and the suffering of the Cuban people was immense. Guevara met Fidel Castro and his brother Raúl in Mexico City, where the Castro brothers were planning their return to Cuba to launch an armed insurrection. This meeting would prove to be a turning point in Guevara's life. The Castro brothers shared Guevara's vision of a free and just society, and their determination was infectious. Guevara was immediately drawn to their cause. He saw in them the same passion and commitment that burned within him. The bond between Guevara and the Castro brothers was forged in their shared dream of liberation and justice. He recognized in Fidel Castro a charismatic leader with a vision for a free Cuba. Fidel's ability to inspire and mobilize people was unparalleled, and Guevara knew that together they could achieve great things. Fidel's leadership was the catalyst that would drive the revolution forward. Guevara joined Castro's 26th of July movement and played a pivotal role in the Cuban Revolution. His dedication to the cause was unwavering, and he quickly became one of the movement's most influential figures. Guevara's strategic mind and fearless spirit were invaluable assets to the revolution. His military skills, honed during his travels, proved invaluable. Guevara's ability to train and lead guerrilla fighters was crucial to the success of the revolution. He was a master of guerrilla warfare, and his tactics would become legendary. He trained guerrilla fighters and led daring attacks against Batista's forces. Guevara's leadership in battle was fearless, and his presence on the front lines inspired his comrades. His strategic brilliance and courage under fire were key factors in the revolution's success. His courage and tactical brilliance earned him the respect of his comrades and the nickname Che, an Argentine expression of camaraderie and affection. Guevara's bond with his fellow fighters was strong, and their shared experiences in battle created a deep sense of brotherhood. The Cuban Revolution was a long and arduous struggle. The revolutionaries faced numerous challenges, from harsh conditions in the mountains to fierce battles against Batista's forces. The journey was fraught with danger, but their resolve never wavered. Guevara was wounded in battle but continued to fight with unwavering determination. His injuries only strengthened his resolve, and he became a symbol of resilience and perseverance. Guevara's indomitable spirit inspired those around him to keep fighting, no matter the odds. He played a key role in the rebels' victory, culminating in the overthrow of Batista in 1959. The triumph of the revolution was a testament to Guevara's leadership and the collective effort of the revolutionaries. It was a moment of immense pride and joy for Guevara and his comrades. The Cuban Revolution would be a defining moment in Guevara's life, propelling him to international fame and solidifying his status as a revolutionary icon. His legacy would inspire countless others to fight for justice and equality, and his name would become synonymous with the struggle for liberation. Guevara's journey from a young idealist to a legendary revolutionary was a testament to the power of conviction and the enduring spirit of resistance. Following the triumph of the Cuban Revolution, a new era began for the island nation. The streets of Havana were filled with jubilant crowds, celebrating the dawn of a new socialist state. Among the revolutionaries, Che Guevara emerged as a key figure in the new government. His dedication and vision for a socialist future made him an indispensable leader. He was appointed as the Minister of Industries and President of the National Bank of Cuba, positions that allowed him to implement his socialist ideals. These roles were crucial in shaping the economic landscape of the new Cuba. Guevara believed passionately in creating a more just and equitable society. His speeches resonated with the masses, inspiring hope and a sense of unity among the Cuban people. He oversaw the implementation of land reforms, nationalizing industries and redistributing wealth to the poor. These reforms aimed to dismantle the old structures of power and give the working class a fair share of the nation's resources. He also played a critical role in shaping Cuba's foreign policy, aligning the country with the Soviet Union and other socialist nations. This alignment was strategic, ensuring Cuba's survival against external pressures and fostering international solidarity. Guevara's charisma and revolutionary zeal made him a popular figure both in Cuba and abroad. His ability to connect with people from all walks of life made him a beloved leader. He traveled extensively, speaking at the United Nations and meeting with world leaders, promoting the Cuban Revolution and advocating for socialist revolution worldwide. His international presence was a testament to his commitment to global change. He became a vocal critic of U.S. imperialism and capitalism, arguing that these systems were the root cause of poverty and inequality. His speeches and writings challenged the status quo, calling for a new world order based on justice and equality. As Comandante Che, Guevara became a symbol of the Cuban Revolution and a beacon of hope for revolutionary movements around the world. His leadership and vision inspired countless others to fight for their own liberation. His image, often adorned with a beret and a stern expression, became synonymous with rebellion, social justice, and the fight against oppression. This iconic representation of Che continues to inspire activists and revolutionaries to this day. However, his time in the Cuban government would be short-lived. Despite his significant contributions, Guevara's restless spirit and unwavering commitment to global revolution drove him to seek new challenges. Guevara's unwavering commitment to international revolution would soon lead him away from Cuba and onto a new path, one fraught with danger and ultimately tragedy. His journey to Bolivia marked the final chapter of his life, where he continued to fight for his ideals until his last breath. His legacy, however, endures, inspiring future generations to strive for a better world.